Hey everyone. August recently came to an end, so time to give a little rundown of what I got over the month. First up, on DVD, the complete third season of The Good Place. The kind of surreal but philosophical comedy series, originally about exploring the afterlife and the ethics of the people who reside there. But now by this point, the main cast gets to live life anew on an alternate Earth where none of them died. So, nice new direction for the series to take. And of course, it's still on Netflix, being an original series of theirs, but couldn't really pass this up. The Blu-ray set of Bojack Horseman, seasons 1 and 2. The acclaimed, both surreal and complex adult cartoon about a world co-inhabited by humans and anthropomorphic animals. All the stories explore many unique things about celebrity culture, psychological issues, personal relationships, and all that. Had it on my queue for quite a long time, but figured it's now good to have it on disc to finally check it out. Actually, those two sets were originally released on July 31st, but I couldn't find them at retail, so I ordered them online and they arrived early in August. Over to toy purchase from Transformers War for Cybertron Siege. We have Green Light, as well as Dazzle Strike. Her being a slight remold and recolor of the Moonracer Nova Star and upcoming Lancer female Autobot mold originally from Power of the Primes. Combiner compatible and primarily serves as an additional limb to the soon-to-be completed Orthea with Elita 1, Moonracer, Nova Star, and Lancer. While Dazzle Strike is a very minimal repaint of Lionizer from the Siege toy line, turns into a blade with a little flame effect piece. In the US at least, they're an Amazon Prime exclusive set. Not sure about other countries and markets, but that's your main avenue to search for them, in the US at least. But happy to get them. Looking forward to completing the team and the combiner. Over to Criterion releases. The Blu-ray of An Angel at My Table, directed by Jane Campion, released in 1990. This dramatic biopic about the New Zealand author Janet Frame, based on her autobiographical material, kind of exploring her creative life and mental issues that she encountered throughout her life. So, pretty interesting buy there. On the lighter side, Blu-ray of Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Surprise, modest hit into the live-action take on the Pokemon world, with Justice Smith playing a young man embarking on a mystery throughout Rhyme City with a talking Pikachu that only he can understand. Wonderfully voiced by Ryan Reynolds, of course. Saw it with a friend of mine in theaters, and while I'm not as big of a fan of the franchise as her, still had a lot of fun with it. So, of course, it was a day one purchase for me. Another belated purchase that originally came out late in July. The trade paperback of IDW's GoBots miniseries. Writing and art by Tom Scioli. Sort of taking a retro sci-fi comics take on the 80s brand, reinterpreting the Guardians and Renegades origins as instead human-invented robotic machines, and then exploring a unique take on their conflict as things heat up over this 5-issue miniseries. Not exactly sure what the reception was like with the overall fan base, but I've heard it's got a lot of nice references and homages while still exploring things very differently. Of course, further continuing the Transformers Reboot comic from IDW with issue 10, written by Brian Ruckley, art by Angel Hernandez, Anna Melkova, and Beth McGuire-Smith. Overall, things heating up throughout these conspiracies and encounters from the point of view of Cybertron's further divided government. And reaching the central point of the Transformers Ghostbusters miniseries from IDW with issue 3, written by Eric Burnham, art by Dan Schoening, as has been the case, with Ectotron further getting acquainted with the Ghostbusters by exploring their firehouse headquarters, gaining his toy-appropriate abbreviated name, exploring a bit more of what the four guys do for a living, basically. Another Criterion release with the Blu-ray of The Inland Sea, directed by Lucio Cara, released in 1991. This short documentary of her exploring Japan's inland sea, mostly by following the 1971 travelogue from Donald Ritchie, kind of exploring the environment and culture of the area and what's stayed the same, what's changed. That'd be a really nice thing to get. And of course, requiring even less info than the dedicated video I had for it, Avengers Endgame on Blu-ray. Of course, pretty much the culminating chapter of the Infinity Saga and Phase 3 of the MCU. Of course, the Avengers and their surviving allies working to undo the fated snap that Thanos inflicted upon the universe's population. Dramatic, funny, heartfelt, not quite perfect, but still very satisfying and very enjoyable. Over to more TV. There's Season 2 of American Gods on Blu-ray. The next run for the Starz original series, based on the acclaimed Neil Gaiman novel about incarnations of old and new gods waging battle in the US. Heard it got pretty mixed reviews compared to the positivity of the first season. That overall kind of doesn't have the same degree of substance as the first. But I'm still looking forward to checking it out. Still seeing what it has to offer. And again, kind of on the lighter side, the complete Season 1 DVD set of Star Wars Resistance. The Disney cartoon taking place shortly before and during the sequel trilogy. Exploring some members of the Resistance, pilots and whatnot, with appearances by folks like, of course, BB-8, Poe Dameron, General Leia, and so on. Still gonna catch the second season. Don't know if it's premiered yet, but it'll at least be nice to catch up with the first. See what's explored there. Of course, noted in my every other month rundown recently, but another 6 Transformers trading card game booster packs. 3 from Rise of the Combiners, 3 from Siege 1. The character cards included being an additional Ruckus, additional Autobot Nova Star, and Autobot Hot Rod, with character cards for these being Major Shockwave and another Private Mudslinger, Raider Trigger Happy and Raider Roadhugger, and Sergeant Hound and Private Fire Drive. So that's the basics for these. Couple more comics with issue 11 of the Transformers Reboot comic from IDW. Written by Brian Ruckley with art by Angel Hernandez and Anna Malkova. Basically showing things coming to a head on all sides of this growing conflict. The Autobots, the Decepticons, and other folks caught up in this. That was my dog's collar jingling, in case you heard it. And Invader Zim, issue 46 from Oni Press. Written by Sam Logan, illustrated by Maddie C. Interesting story with Zim and Dib both racing to figure out the source of an Irken signal found on Earth. Wondering what they'll discover. And finally, some more little BotBots. First from series 1, we have from left to right, Cranks. I'll just show them individually more closely. Cranks, Frostveratu, Professor Wellred, Totes Magoats, and Slobberrock. With that, I actually finally have completed collecting Series 1. And a little assortment of 3 from Series 2. We have Hammer-Eye, King Candy Hooves, and Mustard. Yeah. I guess I'll just show you an easy one for a little transformation with Frostveratu. Of course, you just that often breaks off easily, but it can be reattached. Angle these out, angle the arms, and there you have a little cupcake vampire robot guy. Because why not? Not sure how my rate of Series 2 collecting will be since I don't have any of the multi-packs yet, and Series 3 is already showing up in stores. But it'll definitely be quite the process. So yeah, pretty DVD and Blu-ray heavy this month. But still with some comics, toys, and games. Not entirely sure what September has in store for me, but of course I'll be back in early October to talk about those purchases. See you later, folks.